Hello, you gorgeous fitness enthusiasts. Considering yesterday I almost died due to anaphylactic shock.
Brother,
Or as some call it, anaphylactic shocks. I've been training someone to take over the channel if this happens again, and as you can see, it's been going pretty well. Sadly, I wasn't able to teach this one anything. Maybe I'll have 2 employees, maybe I'll only have 1, but I will have at the very least some help on this channel. Now, since I barely have any energy left to even stand up, instead of going through exercises, today we're going to go through some of the most irritating, dumb, and borderline offensive fitness misconceptions out there. And I want to start with one that is still being perpetuated, even though we have so much more knowledge on this topic than we did even a single year ago. And I still see channels with millions of followers advocating for it, and that is spot reduction. Being able to choose a spot where you reduce fat in your body. If I see one more reel of someone promoting spot reduction, I think my brain is gonna explode, because there are a myriad of studies showing that it is absolutely impossible to spot reduce, and still people who are very influential in this industry are selling courses, selling exercise regimens that teach you how to spot reduce.
Today's workout is a stubborn lower belly fat burn.
I know some people will not want to hear this, but you cannot choose where you burn your fat. It is genetically predisposed where you build more fat and where you have less fat, and depending on your body structure, it might be around your belly, it might be around your thighs, it might be around your chest, and the only way to get rid of it is through reducing total body fat in general. And over time, those places where you build the most fat will also start burning it. What will not happen is burning belly fat through crunches. Just know that if you see anyone advocating for it, you can, without having any second thoughts, put them into the imbecile category and never watch another video of them ever again. Because there are only 2 ways to still promote this. Either you are a moron or you want to lie to people. And in both cases, you don't want to be involved with that. Now, if you are a trainer or you are a gym rat and you have a girlfriend who doesn't or didn't work out, you have probably heard this one as well. Yeah, I'm not sure about working out because I don't want to build too much muscle and I don't want to become too bulky. If it was that easy to become big and bulky, then everyone, especially every single man, would have already done it, because they have much more testosterone than women do, which means that they are more anabolic than women are, building muscle faster. If it takes any man years to build a really good big physique, you're not going to be nearly as close to the same bulk as a man could naturally. If you want to be enhanced, that's totally up to you, but if you want to stay natural, you're not gonna suddenly become way too bulky out of nowhere without noticing it. That doesn't happen. I wish it did. So you can, without having any fears, go to the gym as a woman, do hypertrophy work, do strength work, do powerlifting without ever having to worry about becoming too bulky. And you will always know how big you are if you look into the mirror, and if you see yourself being too big already, then you could just stop.
stop it.
No pain, no gain. People think that if they do not have DOMs are delayed onset muscle soreness, then your training was too low impact. That is not true. In fact, it's been years since I've had really bad DOMs. Usually I don't have any soreness whatsoever. If you are someone who regularly trains, especially if you do the same things over and over, the chances of you having DOMs the next day are pretty slim. If you are a beginner just starting to work out, you will definitely have them if you are training in a high enough intensity. Over time, this will be reduced. And if you are someone who does multiple different disciplines like calisthenics and yoga and lifting and hypertrophy and stretching and mobility, and put all of that together, then the chances of you having any DOMs ever are pretty much zero or very close to it if you do not take longer breaks in between. As long as you follow the basic fundamental rules, being progressive overload, then your training will be effective even if you do not have any soreness. So if you have a hard workout and you get home and you wake up the next day and you don't have any soreness, be happy for yourself. Be happy that you don't have to go through the pain. And if you miss that pain, just take a week or two off and go back to full volume workouts. You're gonna have your DOMs again, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna regret it after a while. Now, this one almost falls into the same category, and that is that if you are not sweating, you're not burning as much fat as you would if you were. Sweating is our body's mechanism to cool the organism down. Not only is it genetically predisposed how much some people sweat versus others, but it's also no indicator whatsoever if your training is effective or not. Some people sweat more, some people sweat less, especially people who are, for instance, used to very hot environments, and chances are you will not be sweating as much as other people do. It has nothing to say about your workout, and once again, if you are following progressive overload and if you have the fundamentals of training down, then it doesn't matter if you're sweating or not, you're still getting the same exact benefits. And you're still burning the same amount of fat as anyone else would, being sweating more or less. You can count yourself lucky that you're not pouring down sweat everywhere and that you're not leaving puddles behind every time you leave a machine or you leave a space where you were working out. You need supplements to effectively train. The word supplement itself already tells you everything that you need to know. It is only there to supplement whatever you are eating. If you're not having a full rounded diet, then you could use some supplements. However, you will probably never need them. And that's also the reason why I don't promote supplements. If I had $1 for every supplement company that came up to me for sponsorships, then I would already have about $10 to $15. I never use supplements except for a single one, and we'll get to that one, but you can get everything you need from a normal and healthy diet. And I'm putting healthy in quotations because you don't have to be this ultimate optimized healthy eating person to get all the nutrients that you need. Now, the only supplement that I use is creatine, but only because it is the most researched, because supplementing creatine is really good for your brain and your body, and you need it because it's very hard to get all of it from a normal diet. If you are a vegan, a vegetarian, or someone who doesn't want to eat multiple pounds or kilos of red meat every single day, then chances are your creatine is low, and supplementing with that will give you a boost when it comes to pushing out that last rep or running that last bit. The only other supplement I would even consider advising people to take is protein, and that's only if you're someone who has a very hard time and you're struggling with eating enough. And the only way you can get in enough calories and enough grams of protein, which is 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight approximately, then you can drink protein shakes and it will be helpful. Other than that, you can take a multivitamin if you are having deficiencies. And I know the supplement industry has its fingers in almost every single fitness creator's ass, making them parrot whatever they're saying. You don't need anything. And if you want to get creatine, then I would advise you to get monohydrate, which is not only the cheapest form, but also as effective as any of the other forms, such as phosphate and malate and whatnot. You don't need those. They are just more expensive because of their marketing and not because they are more effective. No, it does not lead to cancer, and no, it does not lead to kidney stones and kidney problems. The only problem you might have is in the very beginning some water retention in your muscle, but over the first week of taking it, that will go away as well. Just a quick reminder, without going too much into detail, your body uses ATP, adenosine triphosphate, to produce energy, breaking a phosphate off, leaving adenosine diphosphate. And the only thing that creatine does is speed up the process in which your body can switch adenosine diphosphate back to triphosphate, so your body can use it once again for energy. Now, this is one I've heard a couple of times and I have no idea where people get that. If you stop working out, then your muscle will turn into fat. I am happy to tell you that there is no chemical process in the entire universe that we know of that can turn muscle into fat, or the other way around. Muscle is muscle, fat is fat. Those are two very different biological substances, and you cannot change one into the other. If you want to take a break from your workouts, if you're a bodybuilder, or if you're someone who works a lot on hypertrophy and you're scared that if you take a break, your muscles will turn into fat, rest assured, that won't happen. Take whatever necessary break you want. Now, this one is a little bit more nuanced. Cardio is the best way to burn fat. Technically and theoretically, the best way to reduce fat is being in a calorie deficit. You don't have to run, you don't have to work out, you don't even have to leave your bed. If you are eating less calories than you burn, you will lose fat. Cardio will aid you in burning fat, so will working out. Building muscle will increase your metabolic rate, and increasing your metabolic rate will increase your fat burning capacity. As for cardio itself will help you burn more calories, and through that mechanism you will be burning fat. However, it is not the cardio or the training itself that does that, it is the calorie deficit in the very end. Now, when it comes to cardio in general, the most sustainable form of doing cardio is walking, not only because it's very low impact, but you can do it pretty much until the day you die, and you should be doing it until the day you die. But to optimally reduce fat in your body, combining diet as well as cardio and a nice workout routine to build muscle mass to increase your metabolic rate is the most effective way in reducing fat. So while it is a little bit more nuanced, it is actually a very simple one. More is always better. I myself struggle a lot with this one because I am far too much on edge to be sitting down a whole day and taking a break from working out. However, I have learned to use my rest days instead of going for a full workout to work on some tiny things, for instance, balance or stretching or just some coordination work that helps me advance all my other workout routines just so I do not fully burn out. I teach more than 15 classes a week, which is already a lot of moving around. I burn about 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day, and if I did that the whole week through without any breaks, I would be dead. While the threshold of how much you can do will be different from person to person, there is such a thing as overtraining. Finding out where that threshold is for you is very important, especially if you want to advance more than a beginner level when it comes to fitness and working out. Recovery is one of the most important parts of building a better body. Your muscle is being built during your rest periods and during your sleep, and if you overdo it, you will never be able to fully recover enough to be able to progressively overload to your true potential, and you will reach the point of diminishing returns. For most people, Daumen mal Pi, as we say in Austria, 2 times per muscle group a week, especially if you have a lot of sets and if you have a lot of reps and different exercises. If you are someone who does full body workouts, you can train 5 times with low intensity and still have a lot of benefits. And if you reduce your volume and intensity even lower, you can train 6 days a week. However, I would advise to take at least 1 full day off. Leaving you on that note, if you made it to the end, I love you. Thank you so much for watching me babble on for all this time. If you like the video and subscribe, and please check out other videos on this channel because we literally have new ones every single day, which means that I will see you guys tomorrow. Captain Cairo, peace out.